Diablo 4 quarterly update, major revamp to skills and talents, Sorceress, Enchantment System. Hello, and welcome to the new installment of our quarterly Diablo IV development updates. We enjoyed hearing your thoughts on the last blog and have followed many of the discussions that kicked off within the community. It's very encouraging for us to hear and appreciate your steady update cadence behind the scenes for our early work. We're also excited about all the positive reactions we're seeing to the art, cinematics, and the addition of the open world gameplay to the Diablo franchise. That's completely true. I think that the way that they decided to handle the artwork in Diablo 4 is fucking incredible. I love the artwork in Diablo 4. It's very, very awesome. So let's see here. The team has poured over a lot of the constructive feedback regarding the current direction of itemization, and we're looking to give you an update on items later in the year. Some of the progress we've made will speak directly to the questions we've seen raised in the community. For today's update, we wanted to cover another big topic, skills and abilities. Provide a lot of feedback. We've generally had the same observations experienced ourselves. As a result, we've been reworking skills and talents over the last few months and are now ready to share some of the progress that we've made. Okay, all right, awesome. So let's see what they've got. Part of the major skill revamp. So this is the... Okay, yeah, that was the original one, and this is the... Wait, what? Is this like a joke? Is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke? Or did they actually just fucking... Did they actually Photoshop the abilities onto a black tree? Like, did they really fucking... Like, because I've done pictures like this on my own. They literally fucking got some guy in Microsoft Paint to just... Okay. Okay. Oh, they're gonna love it, man. Oh, yeah. This is great. I think this is funny, right? And here's the thing. Is that the Diablo team at this point, just have some fun with it, guys. Okay? Make a phone joke. Like, because, like, we're not going to take this seriously from the beginning, okay? Like, really, like, people aren't going to take this seriously anyway. So, just have some fun with it. The original skill and talent system was shown in 2019. They got a lot of criticism because they had no depth. Skills were separated into arbitrary categories. New systems should provide more depth for player agency, who are using the same set of skills to create distinct characters with builds that greatly vary, due to only being able to select 30 or 40% of the total tree. Okay. We have a separate sections for skills and passives in our freshly Microsoft painted skill tree. I like how that's capitalized. So this is a proper noun here. This is what a skill tree really is here. Yes, it's freshly MS painted. The upper skills section is why you'd spend, let me read this here. The upper skills section is where you will spend skill points that you earn by leveling up. Here you unlock brand new skills and unlock additional functionality for those skills. So what do you guys think about this new talent tree? I think this is fine. Like, I don't really... This seems fine to me. Yeah, I mean, I think that this is obviously like a... this is a sample of what to expect, and it's not necessarily what it's actually going to be. So we can't really know if this is going to be as cool as we think that it will be. But regardless, I think that what I'm looking at right now does seem relatively interesting. Sure, it's convoluted. Well, I don't know if it's convoluted or not. I mean, I think that we'll actually have to play test it and see what it's going to be like. Spend points on a circular upgrade nodes to enhance active skills that you've unlocked. So this is basically like glyphs. I mean, this is exactly what they had in Diablo 3, is that you'd get your main spell and then you would unlock different glyphs for that spell based off of what level you were. But the problem was that you just unlocked all of them. Like, you had all of the character customization that happened like pretty much fucking immediately. And I don't know, I think that the Diablo 3 power curve and the Diablo 3 like power growth progression was always fucking garbage. Like, I didn't like it at all. As a PoE fan, I generally think the PoE tree's point of comparison is way too overhyped. This allows for your average player to craft their own unique build. Well, yeah, absolutely. The PoE tree, not every game has to be built around PoE. That's all there is to it. Like, not every game has to be complicated. I think that a lot of the gaming community fetishizes complication in games to the point to where if something is harder, even if it's harder in an unfair way, the gaming community will look at it as a positive because it allows them the ability to act like they have a big ego because they're able to figure it out or do it regardless. So I don't like the way that the gaming community online really perceives a lot of these changes, because Diablo IV doesn't need to compete directly with PoE for the same people. There's going to be a lot of people that play Diablo IV because PoE is too complicated for them because they don't want to invest that much time into the game. It's the same as a lot of people like playing Warzone, but Tarkov is way more complicated than Warzone. Does that mean that Tarkov is a better game than Warzone because it's more complicated? No, it doesn't at all. I think that the gameplay is what really makes a game good. So this is what Quin said about it on Twitter. So I actually don't know. Fixed it? Wait, what did the fix here? Oh! So what he's saying is like this should be all the different modifications for one ability? Is that what he's saying? Yes, okay. All right, that's fine with me. I think this could be too complicated, and I think Quin knows this, right? And like obviously like Quin is a power gamer, okay? Like everybody knows Quin's a big power gamer. And so obviously he's gonna want things that are really complicated. I think that Diablo 4, I'm gonna keep saying Diablo 3. Diablo 4 is not probably trying to go down the route of being as complicated as PoE. And I think that that's fine. As long as the gameplay is good and it's solid and there's actual end game progression, then I think it'll be a good game. It does not have to be as complicated or match PoE in terms of its complication. Regardless, let me just go all the way down and we're gonna read the rest of this. Sorceress Enchantment System. Okay, here it is. The skill tree that you see above consists of many specific nodes, a sample of which you can see in the screenshots above. If we imagine every single node in a massive skill tree affecting different skills in different ways, the path that you decide to take will determine big power increases and playstyle choices. The passive part of the system is where you will find more general upgrades for your character. So wait, this is your entire character? Yeah, it's the same thing. It's... Each one of these is just a branch. Yeah, this is a visualization for the same system. They just changed it into something else. It says, yeah, this is basically... You know what this is like? It's like if you take a plant and then you comb it in a certain way and it's all, you know, tilted towards the left, and then you're like, oh wait, no, let me change this into a different plant, and then you comb it all to the right instead and you rearrange the flowers in the vase. Well, guess what? It's still the same flowers. It's still the same thing. Like, I'm sorry, like your hair? Yeah, I can do whatever I want to my hair, but at the end of the day, it's still gonna be a piece of shit. Let me see the rest of this, though. Okay, these effects are not specific to particular skills. Yeah, this could be a problem. Sorceress Enchantment System. Seeking to further differentiate the classes in Diablo IV, Blizzard is implementing unique class-specific mechanics. For the Barbarian, this manifested into the Arsenal system, allowing Barbarians to rapidly and seamlessly switch between 4 weapons by assigning them to individual attacks. For the Sorceress, Blizzard has introduced the Enchantment System, allowing Sorceresses to assign their skills to either active skill slots or new enchantment slots. Okay, so this is, Many ARPGs receive criticism that every class is roughly the same with reskinned abilities to suit the flavor of the character. Unique class mechanics, whether a unique resource, range versus melee versus spellcaster ranger, are more important than ever in differentiating each of the classes. Whenever I play a sorceress, I want it to feel completely different than a barbarian or a druid, and I think the enchantment system helps deliver on that class fantasy. So they're just trying to make the classes different. Yeah, that's really all there is to it. They're just trying to make the classes different. That sounds fine to me. Like, yeah, sure. The thing is, like, with all ARPGs, I want you guys to understand this. The goal of an ARPG is to find the strongest ability in the game and then use that ability to kill everything in the game in one hit. That is the goal of an ARPG. To find the ability that is the easiest to use and to make it kill everything in the game in one hit. And every single time that you have any ARPG or any game, that's what it always gets defined or distilled down into. And no, well, that's what people do, right? I mean, look at like any PoE build, look at any Diablo 3 build. Most of the best and most popular builds are built around using the fewest amount of skills possible and just empowering those to be the best that they can be. Like if you go and you watch a PoE streamer, for example, and you watch them play the game, the majority of the high-end PoE streamers are hitting the same exact button the whole time because they empower that one spell to be way fucking stronger than everything else, and then they just blow everything else out of the water. Because there's like a meta of this that like is beyond just the game. It's so much easier for you to sit there and hit the same button all day over and over and over than it is for you to hit a whole rotation of abilities. You don't need to worry about that. You're just hitting the same fucking button over and over and over, and it allows you to play the game way longer because you have to put in less work. Yeah, just macro. Yeah, exactly. Regardless, would you smack your own wiener? Yeah, I do it all the time. Multiple times a day, actually. Rotations do not belong in ARPGs. I don't think there's a right or wrong for that. Let me go down to the rest of this, okay? This does sound interesting, but I think we're gonna have to see how it actually plays. I think this is an example of Blizzard doing something and thinking that it's going to work based off of an ideology without having that ideology actually play tested by the players. Because I think the reality of what this is going to be is that people are still going to distill all of this class fantasy down into using one ability. That's what I think it's going to have happen. It's like, this is an idea that sounds, oh wow, this is really cool, and the classes are gonna be different and everything. But it really just turns down to people using one ability. And so that's really gonna be their struggle, okay? And so this is pretty much what it is. So this is the Sorceress skills can be placed into 2 locations: active skill slot that every other class has access to, an enchantment slot. If you place a skill in the enchantment slot, you can no longer use it as an active skill, but your character instead gains a secondary bonus power. I think that's really cool. Yeah, this could be really, really cool. The power you gain, oh, this is actual gameplay. This looks like Diablo 3. Yeah, this looks just like Diablo 3. Well, I mean, look, they've got a long way to go for release, okay? Hopefully it looks way better whenever it actually comes out, okay? It's not, obviously not final. Regard, it's built for console. Yeah, what'd you expect? I expected it to look better than this. I don't think that the graphical fidelity is anywhere near what I would expect to see out of Diablo 4. I think it should look way better than it does now. Even whenever you look at Diablo 2, and like I've been watching like Sequisha play it a little bit, and the game for its time was really, really good. It was really, really good. Diablo 3 was not. Like, the graphics for Diablo 2 for their time were really good. I think a game having good graphics does matter. Like, I know that some people think this doesn't make a difference. I think that it does. Itemization and in-game progression. Demonic, Angelic, and Ancestral power. When mixing up itemization in Diablo 4, the system received a lot of criticism for being a little bit too bland on how little power conferred with how difficult to min-max without hoarding lots of gear. Okay. Fans criticize the itemization of Diablo 4. Oh, actually, let me read the rest of this here. And to begin, we already know about the fantasy of demonic, ancestral, and angelic power isn't cool enough in its current variation of the pitch. Duly noted. However, one thing that we really liked about the system was the gameplay managing stats in meaningful ways to hit certain bonus thresholds and then make your item better suited for that playstyle that you're going for. I agree with that. And it's ironic that they say this because this is exactly why they got rid of armor penetration in Wrath of the Lich King. But regardless, and let's go ahead and move on. Legendary items. We're exploring some big changes in this space for two reasons. We agreed that the feedback that a character's power is currently too dependent on items. We plan to put more of the player's power back into the character and make build choices more impactful rather than having the majority of player power always coming from the items that they have equipped. I don't really know what the balance for that really should be. That said, it's important that we strike the right balance so that itemization choices always feel meaningful. We've also had very mixed team feedback regarding core itemization. We're looking into how to best differentiate various item qualities. For example, should magic items have a higher affix stats than rare items? No. Why would they? Yeah, no. Why would they? Because magic quality was blue, and then rare was yellow, and rare is better than magic quality. So why would a blue be better than basically an epic? Yeah, I don't know. It's like random chance. I think that does make the game a little bit more dynamic and interesting, but I don't necessarily think that that would be a good thing. I don't know. I'd have to play test it to really know what it would be like. Okay. PvP scaling in D2. Yeah, I mean, like, it's T1 mobs, mods versus tier 3, tier 3, tier 3, tier 3. Oh, okay, so what you're saying is it would only okay, so what you're saying is that each of the different, like, the difference between a magic weapon, a magic item, and a rare item is the amount of affixes that it would have, but the affix amount would be the same. That would be okay. I'd be fine with that, sure. I think that makes it more interesting. Yeah, okay, got it. You expect to hear more about legendary items in our blog, in our next blog. Okay, that's good. In-game progression system. Lastly, we've been hard at work at our in-game progression character system. This important feature is going to take a little more time, as it won't be in the next blog. But we wanted to mention it here because it will be the other significant source of power that comes from your class. This system is intended to provide more depth and replayability than what the Paragon system offers in Diablo 3. Well, that's good. The Paragon system in Diablo 3 is garbage. And the reason why it's garbage is because the power progression that you gain is so quickly irrelevant. Because you get to the point to where, like, you hit, I think it's Paragon 800, right? Where then you just start getting more and more points into the exact same fucking stat. You just get more and more main stat. I don't know, I feel like that's boring, man. Like, it's just fucking boring. Like, you want to unlock new abilities and new stats. Like, in my mind, I think one of the coolest things about PoE is whenever you get to the point to where you can get an explodey chest. Whenever you get to the point to where you can get a double curse on your gloves. And you unlock these power thresholds, and hitting that new power threshold and feeling the way that that power threshold empowers your character is fucking great. So if I'm looking at the Paragon system in Diablo 3, does that really do it for me? I don't think so. I think that the system that would be better would be things that unlock new levels of functionality of skills and new levels of functionality of passive abilities. Explodey chest is unethical, though? Yeah, I know. That's why it's fun. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly why it's fun. Let me go ahead and read the rest of this. We and many Blizzard gamers have talked about the concept of easy to learn, difficult to master. We believe that the in-game progression system is where a difficult to master component will come in and should meet the expectations of the most hardcore Diablo players out there. So, in my mind, what do I want to see in a Diablo game? I want to be able to get really, really good gear and fuck this shit out of the game. We're excited to read through the feedback from the community regarding our revamped skill and talent system, as well as our new Sorceress enchantment system. We're always reading through the comments on our forums, Reddit, social media, and more for your feedback. As always, please remember that none of this is final, as the game is still actively in development. Your constructive discussions around these features will help Diablo 4's development the most. We greatly appreciate your continued support and discussion related to the game. We will see you all in our next quarterly update as we dive deeper into some of the itemization changes that we have coming. Stay tuned, and thanks again. David Kim, Lead Systems Designer, Diablo 4. This seems fine. This just seems fine.